Alright, one take try, part 2, second attempt. Okay, so this probably looked like I was building a computer, something new, epic, exciting, but it's not because it's already built, and you've already seen this. But I've never really talked about it because I thought I want to talk about music tech, but I think this is a big part of modern home studio. So now, I should probably first say you don't need one of these to do that, but I wanted to do some light video, and so here it is. Possibly the biggest mistake I've ever made. But it's helped. I've edited most of my videos on this. So, as you saw, we have, well, this is the Maximus Extreme 4 motherboard. Well, the back of it anyway. Mars graphics card, which is a dual GPU. As you can see, this is, miscellaneous parts. These are Dell stoppers. We have our Antec power supply, which I know the words are upside down, but that's the way it fit. So, let's open it. Okay. So, powering this, which you can't see because of this huge V8 cooler, is a Intel. There's an Intel Core i7 4770K. It's the LGA 1150. It is literally that small. And so because I have a cooler the size of a small engine on top of it, I've never had a thermal shutdown, ever. It has gotten too hot and gotten sluggish, but I haven't had a thermal shutdown. It's been pretty cool. It's not overclocked, it's still stock. Mars graphics card. The RAM inside is kind of hard to see, but that was 16 gigs of Trident RAM. The idea was to upgrade to 32. Never did it. So, of course, the primary hard drive is the OCC Vertex 480 gig solid state. That's the biggest I think I could afford at the time. They have, you can now get 1 terabyte SSDs, but that is also small too. It's a 2.5-inch drive. Can't see it because it's in here. I'm not, of course, going to take this thing apart, but now, this was an interesting build. I had a friend help me, of course, because I had never built a computer before. So I paid for all the insides, and he got me the case. So it has the overclock module, which in extreme mode you would take out of here and have it externally. And I know this is sideways, but this is probably the oldest part of the machine. It's about 10 years old, and it's starting to give me problems. I don't use the disk drive very often, but, well, as I've started burning DVDs more, I've needed it, and you push it, and sometimes nothing happens. So, but that's the only problem I've had with this in 4 years? I built it in 2014, 3 years. I know that I've had it. So, this is actually like the 3-year anniversary of it. So, oh, by the way, can't ignore the lion. This is named Aslan. Call it Aslan. The flames don't quite go with it, but, they're better than... it's better than skulls or something. So, on the front, we have power button, reset button. One of these is a power light. I think this is the hard drive activity light. We have USB 2.0 ports. 3.5mm audio jacks. This is a microphone. No, that's speakers. Headphones or speakers. There's the microphone. And then on the back we have some stuff that I don't use. We have our ROG Connect, something CMOS, clear CMOS. And this is to attach a Wi-Fi antenna, which is since I've been having a lot of trouble with, but I usually connect via Ethernet. So over here we have our USB 2 ports, and then we have 6 USB 3.0 ports. SPDIF out, HDMI, and DisplayPort, which could run 4K, but I'm not actually using that. I'm actually using the Mars third-party, aftermarket third-party graphics card. But the integrated graphics on this board are good too. Our antiquated PS2 connections, don't know why they still put those on there, but it is there. It can be for either keyboard or mouse. And then we have our 8-channel audio. We have our side, rear, center, and sub, and our microphone, line out, and then line in. I believe this is 8-channel. Center and sub, I guess we go off of that one, and then rear speak. Yeah. Anyway, haven't really used that. The most I use is the line out and the line in, and use the Scarlett 2i2 for everything else. On the Mars card, we have mini DisplayPort and DVI and DVI dual link. I think this is the dual link DVI, and these are regular DVI. 4770. This is running at 3.5 gigahertz. It's a quad core, and then it has the what do you call it? The threading, hyper threading. So it acts like an octa-core, even though it's a quad core. And that's been pretty stable. And then with the 16 gigs of RAM, like I said, I was going to go up to 32. Didn't do it. So I had that. That's strong. And then when you're going for a graphics card like the Mars, which is really two 760s in one card. So if you look at, just look at that. You got the two GPU cards, and at this time it was outperforming the GTX Titan by 7%. So anyway, not much. I didn't really know what all this meant. I just know it was 4 gigs of graphics memory, which my previous desktop had, I think, 512 megabytes. So like half a gig of DDR memory. It wasn't DDR5 at that time either. So anyway, this is like a mid-range, low mid-range build. It's just enough to run some video editing. I have done a little bit of 4K video with it, not too much. It is an excellent audio machine with the 16 gigs of RAM. Generally, you want to, if you're going to run more plugins, you want to put a bit more, but this is a pretty fast system overall. It's not laggy. In fact, when I'm tempted to think it's slow, I just hop over and use that little thing over there. And no more complaining. So, yeah, that is pretty much it. I know, not very exciting because I'm not building it, but just a little look at the stuff. And then the cable management is perhaps not the greatest. I could probably clean that up, but you know, eventually I think I want to pop it out of this case, put it in another one, because as I'm doing more and more of these videos, I did a couple 4K videos for this, and found that well, the thing about doing 4K videos, one of the things anyways, is storage. And I'm finding, even with my standard definition videos that I do for church, I do the weekly sermons, is that I'm running out of room. I actually ran out of room on I have mechanical hard drives in here for that. As you can see, the Mars card sticks into the drive bay quite a bit, so I could only add 2 mechanical hard drives. I really need to put 4 in there. But there's not enough room, so probably when I'm able, I will take all the components out of this case and put them in a case that has them loading this way instead of this way, and that way I'll be able to fit more storage, because really this computer still holds up. I may consider another one for video, but at this point, this one's pretty solid and just needs maybe a little bit more RAM and definitely more storage space. And then after that, with the USB 3, everything will be external. So really, it's not really that limited at all. So I think we managed to do one take. Yeah! Okay. Okay, so that's it for this video. As this falls over, it's fine. It's fine. It's a tough one. See you in the next one.